Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
High noon and welcome in. This is the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. My name is Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. It's Wednesday, so we are humaning. Hopefully that might have been a blip there, Tommy. I'm not sure. We'll work on that. Tommy Wirtz is in the house. Human Wednesday for Mason Crosby. Good high noon, Tommy.
Good high noon. How are you, Mr. Nellis?
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's New Year's Day, like New Year's Eve day.
Right.
It's the last day of 2025. I don't really know how to feel about it. Like, am I supposed to be in my feels? I'm not sure.
Was this year good to you?
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one.
Okay. All right. Well, then.
Yeah.
Then if it was good to you, celebrate it. If it wasn't, move on from it today. Boom.
I think I'm ready to turn the page on 2025.
Let's do it.
Some good things. Professionally, the best thing about 2025 was getting to originally wake up 9 to 11 and then get changed and have high noon with Mason Crosby and Mr. Tommy Wirtz. And that was obviously the best part professionally of 2025 because that day-to-day is a pure win. That is a win. That's like just the W's, just like coming off like one after the other, 5 days a week, just steady. Love being here. Love being on the air with the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. So that's been a blast.
Yeah, and it keeps a nice routine. Like you said, we were coming in earlier beforehand. We've switched over. Now we get to sleep in. I don't set an alarm anymore. That's pretty awesome, right?
That is awesome. Yeah, how's that working out for you?
Sometimes I come in a half hour later than I'm supposed to, I think, but I really don't even know when I technically start. I don't think anyone wants to tell me when to come in and work because they know I'm going to come in and work also here. Like they know it's going to get done. They know it's going to get ready to go. However, from a sports side of things, 2025, I think it was a positive year, right? I think.
A lot of positives, a lot of negatives. And I don't know if we want to go through the whole year. But we do want to hear from you. What was your take on 2025? What's the best thing? Let's go positive. What's the best thing in your mind that happened in 2025 in the world of Wisconsin sports? And because I think obviously it's easy to go negative. It's easy to figure out, right now you could say, well, Marquette basketball is the worst negative. Like we thought Wisconsin football was bad, and Marquette basketball just said, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Or can you hold your beer in college? I'm not sure. Maybe it's hold my energy drink.
Not at Marquette.
Right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Marquette basketball's rough right now, man. It's not going well. Definitely near the downside. But as far as positives go, Mitch, like Mike Parsons is awesome, right? And I know that he could also be seen on the negative side of this year based on how things ended in 2025. But I mean, we never could have imagined that a deal like that would ever happen to any of the teams in the entire state of Wisconsin, and let alone the Green Bay Packers, like the crown jewel of them all, getting one of the best players in the NFL.
No, that is absolutely right. I mean, what happened last August was unbelievable, and that has been magical for all of us. 414-677-1250 is the phone number. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. If you want to chime in, the best thing in your mind that happened in Wisconsin sports. When I texted Tommy about this earlier today, I said, tell me the best thing that happened in 2025 in Wisconsin sports, and why is it Bryce Terang?
He's so good.
I just wanted Tommy to smile because I know that Tommy hearts Bryce.
And Jake Bowers. Remember, people forget Jake Bowers was awesome at the end of the season for the Milwaukee Brewers. Just remember that, because everyone, Bryce Terang was the best because I got to watch you and Mason both understand and also fall in love with the same player. I don't think you guys weren't a fan of him beforehand, but it became, oh, he's the best player on this team, and it might not even be close because of how productive and how he executes every single day. He plays the game. You should be teaching your children to play baseball the same way Bryce Terang does.
Yes, that no doubt. I love that. I love that take. You should be teaching your kids how to play baseball like Bryce Terang. And I think we did a great job at educating Mason. I came in probably not quite as fiery as you were about Bryce Terang, but I was already on board. And I've explained that many times. Like in high school, I was a good fielding second baseman who couldn't hit. So like I thought Bryce Terang was just me, but better. Well, now all of a sudden he can hit. If he can be that guy. Spencer writes into the show, beating the Cubs in the NLDS.
That was awesome.
Like no matter what happened in that Dodger series, no matter what happened against that Dodger pitching, we will always have Game 5 at home against the Chicago Cubs. We will always have that win. That's a great one. In the 10 o'clock hour, look at me. I think we're still on at 9 o'clock. In the 1 o'clock hour, we are going to get into your wish list for 2026. Because I know some people are writing in on Facebook about that already. Camille Davis is going to join us around 12:20. Andy Herman, his weekly hit at 1 o'clock. That will be fun as well. But 414-677-1250. What was your one biggest moment, your one biggest memory, your one biggest happiest in 2025 in the world of Wisconsin sports? Let's keep it positive.
Where would you put the Packers signing Desmond Ridder on that list of exciting things?
I saw your tweet, bro. I know you are fired up. Desmond Ridder is going to pull a Matt Flynn this week. He's going to throw 6 touchdowns for the Packers against the Vikings. It's going to be absolutely glorious.
Well, and my tweet was, it was a little bit of a shot, right? Where you're sitting there. Like, it sounds so stupid to say that if Desmond Ridder has one good game, he should be now implemented into the Packers offense in some capacity, right? Like, that would be nuts. No one would think that's a thing. However, that's Malik Willis in a nutshell. It's like he's had 3 awesome games, and it's like, why does he not have a role in the offense? It's not going to have this Desmond Ridder thing, man. This game could get really ugly on Sunday, Mitch, and I think it's going to be gross.
It could. I mean, I think it's way more ugly if the other kid plays.
Yeah, Toon.
The Clayton Toon plays. But I am interested if Desmond Ridder, what he does. We want to take. So if you have your top moment in Wisconsin sports in 2025, please text that in. Please send it in on YouTube at WI Sports Radio. We want to hear from you. But we do have to talk some Packers before we get to Camille Davis, because Matt LaFleur spoke earlier today. And the biggest thing he started with right away is that Jordan Love is still in protocol.
Yeah, Jordan Love is in protocol. Matt LaFleur speaking on not playing Jordan Love this week.
So we got to find a way to make the best of that circumstance. But it just is what it is. There's some things that are out of our control. We would have loved to have had him play with Baltimore, and that wasn't the case. I mean, moments where the majority of the week in regard to how we allocated the reps, and he's out there.
He didn't clear, so.
I was going to ask you, Tommy, like, It sounds like, and I think we felt this as fans and as sports radio guys, whatever, that it felt like they were planning on Jordan Love playing last week, and then he didn't. And I don't know that affected the game because of how there was no defense in the game, and how well Malik Willis. Because I was going to say, like, did that affect them? Like, were they so caught up with, Jordan Love's going to be the quarterback, that it deflected? I don't really think so, but it does go to a level of preparation that, again, we talked about with Mason yesterday about, like, if Jordan Love was a 49er and Jordan Love hadn't gone, like Brock Purdy is in concussion protocol, I feel like the 49ers, yes, would be preparing Brock Purdy to play, but also would be doing all the even the way Matt LaFleur said that. And I'm trying not to be nitpicky with Matt LaFleur. I want to like Matt LaFleur, but like, just like the whole, like, oh, well, we were all in, like, we thought he was going to play. And it's like, isn't your job to be prepared for every eventuality? And if he hasn't cleared on Tuesday, and then he hasn't cleared on Wednesday, then he hasn't cleared on Thursday, like, yeah, maybe he clears on Friday, but let's not, I don't know. I don't like the vibe of that answer from LaFleur.
And wait till you hear his answer on what Desmond Ridder could possibly be to the Green Bay Packers. Hey, your disrespect for Desmond Ridder ends now. Dude is a stud. He's a legend. He's a Vegas legend. He's a Falcons legend. He's a Vikings legend. Revenge
Let's
game.
see how this goes. Yeah, right.
So I actually wanted to stop. Like, I didn't even realize that Luke Getsy has worked with Desmond Ridder already. Like, this is
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Oh my gosh. Like, it's going to be,
I don't know.
If Matt LaFleur does a good job with Desmond Ridder, I'm going to almost be more upset at Matt LaFleur, because then it'll be another quarterback that he can't figure it out with, or that he can figure it out with, versus Jordan Love. I think every time he does better with a backup quarterback, it hurts his argument of, the right fit in Green Bay. Maybe it's not hurting the argument of good coach, bad coach, but I'm saying that Jordan Love is a part of the plan, and I think him and Micah Parsons are two finites for this window of Packers football, and you cannot change them. Whoever it is around them, that's up to you guys. But Jordan Love and Micah Parsons must be here with the team being successful. We know that.
I completely agree. I'm 100% with you on that. And I like the Jordan. It's okay. Again, two things can be true. It's okay to really like Malik Willis.
Yep.
And to really like what he's done in a backup role, and to acknowledge that Jordan Love is the starting quarterback of this team. And for this team to be successful long-term, Jordan Love needs to be at the level we think he can achieve. The question that I think, Tommy, you and I both have is, can he achieve that level with Matt LaFleur?
Right.
And we both hope he can, especially if Matt LaFleur is going to stay here. But if the Packers lose on Sunday and then the Packers lose to the Bears in the playoffs, I don't think it's going to matter, because I don't think Matt LaFleur's coming back.
Yeah, I got one more here that is just, it's super quick, and it's about Bo Melton. That's all you're going to get.
Oh, you got, when I heard this earlier today, I knew you got so excited.
Here it is.
Where's that leave you at corner? You called a couple guys up, I understand, but like, are you in a position where Bo's going to actually play both ways?
Time will tell. Time will tell.
I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna vomit.
Or Sunday will tell.
Yeah.
Are you excited to see Bo Melton play 80% of defensive snaps and 60% of offensive snaps? Are you ready for that breakdown, Tommy?
No, I'm not at all. In fact, I'm rooting completely against it. I hate that Bo Melton. I don't want to say I was advocating for Bo Melton when he was starting, trying to make this roster, but it felt like when I was doing the show with Andy that it was Bo Melton is so valuable to special teams that he has to be on this roster. And now he is becoming more valuable to the offense and more valuable to the defense every single week. And I cannot stand it. I think it's a severe misevaluation of the talent and the personnel that was a part of this Packers team. And Bo Melton playing both ways, like, he's not Travis Hunter, guy. He's just not.
No, I think it's weird because at the beginning of this season, by the way, Malik Heath, no targets Monday night for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't even know if he played or not. But I'm just looking at the box score, so I don't know if he's on the Let's see. Is he on? Did he make any special teams tackles? I don't see anything. But when the season started, we were like, for the past few years, like Bo Melton and Malik Heath, like, man, they are like our solid 6'7s, right? The sixth wide receiver and the seventh wide receiver, and they are those guys. They're good in the locker room. They're good dudes. They work hard. They're fighting for their spot. Neither's really improving, but they are who they are. And then this spring, Bo Melton starts practicing with the cornerbacks. And it's like, whoa, what's going on here? His brother plays cornerback, and he played cornerback in high school. It's like, and they're short at that position. And so maybe this is fun. And maybe he'll play a couple snaps a game. And then, like, as the season goes on, he's playing more and more wide receiver, even though, like, Matthew Golden is alive and breathing. Yep. But Bo Melton is playing ahead of him and getting targets ahead of him. And we know Wicks has been banged up, and Watson missed the beginning of the season and got banged up in the Denver game. But almost to the point that you're talking about, like the more that, I was just gonna say, the more Bo Melton plays, the more we dislike him.
Yeah,
like he was fun as your sixth wide receiver, special teams ace.
Yep. When
he needs to do more, guess what? Bo Melton can't really do more.
It's Andrew Monasterio. It's the same,
good example.
Andrew Monasterio, when he comes in, pinch hit, 3-run homer. Oh my God, he's batting 380. Why don't we have him playing over Joey Ortiz? And then he just sucks at the end of the year anyway when he starts getting playing time. Love what you did for me in the past, but I know you're not a part of the future. That's how I feel about a lot of people on this team.
Well, and I think that's how we feel about Malik Willis, where it's like, man, if I see one, and we have people on the text line all the time, 414-677-1250. We get this daily. Yeah. Every day we get a text in, why don't they drop a package for Malik Willis? All right, listen, if you want to drop a 2-point conversion package for Malik Willis only, where like it's your best play in your magic hat where you pull things out.
Yep.
You want to have 1 2-point conversion play where Malik Willis is in for Jordan Love or with Jordan Love or whatever, because you need to get a 2-point conversion, and that's it. That's the only possibility on that play. But you're not running short yardage. You're not running trick plays. You're not, it goes back to when Randall Cobb was a rookie. Okay. And Aaron Rodgers, they ran a play where Aaron Rodgers took the snap and he threw it backwards to Randall Cobb. And Randall Cobb threw the ball because Randall Cobb played wide receiver, running back, and quarterback at Kentucky.
Right.
Like Randall Cobb's an amazing athlete. Randall Cobb can throw the ball. Well, he threw the ball. I think it was incomplete. It definitely was not complete. I don't think he threw an interception. I think it was incomplete. It was one play in the game. But after the game, Aaron was asked about it. And Aaron said, listen, I just don't know why you take the ball out of my hands. Like, I'm really good. Jordan Love, again, he's not to the level of Aaron Rodgers, but he's already really good. If we want him to be who we expect and need him to be as Packers fans for this Packers team to maximize its performance during the regular season and the playoffs, probably not this year, but in the future, you keep the ball in Jordan Love's hands. You have a solid running back, whether that's healthy Josh Jacobs, whether that's Manny Wilson, whether that's somebody else. But you don't use a secondary package with a backup quarterback. And it's probably not going to matter. Malik Willis is probably going to be somewhere else, and that's fine. But honestly, enough of the Malik Willis. If you want to tell me Malik Willis is the best thing that happened in Wisconsin sports in 2025, that is certainly your take. But I'm not here for that. We're not here for that. And it's like, to be a serious organization with serious goals and this is not how you do it.
Correct.
You don't have plans for your backup quarterback to get him the ball because he's exciting in spot duty.
Yeah,
Did I make myself clear?
No one was arguing for Matt Flynn to get packages after that game. No one was like, yo, you should get him in on third downs and throw the ball a couple times.
And get Willis runs the ball, and so that adds but it works because the defense isn't prepared for it.
It's okay.
And again, they're
just trying to find a bridge backup. They're finding Desmond Ridder so they can find their next future backup quarterback of the team.
Right. Should we Camille Monet it up?
Let's do it.
All right, Camille Davis is going to join us next. Real quick, Simba in Port Washington texts in. Brewers regular season was the high point, especially sweeping the Dodgers. The low point, the Badgers not scoring a touchdown in 2 consecutive games while giving up 30-plus points.
Yeah, that was
yeah. I don't want your low points, but Simba threw his in there. 414-677-1250. Text in your high point of Wisconsin sports in 2025. This is the last day of 2025. Man, when we sign off, you know how we're going to sign off. See you next year, right? I mean, in tomorrow, 2 days, whatever it is. But Camille Davis, Locked on Bucks, Pack-A-Day podcast. She's next here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. This is the Mason Crosby Show. It's got what it takes. So tell me why can't this be Jordan Love? My name's Mr. Oh, see what I did there, Tommy?
Nice.
Yeah. My name's Mr. Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. Tommy Wirtz in the house. Human Wednesday for Mason. Obviously, we're off tomorrow because it's New Year's Day. On Friday, Mason will be in. I will be off. I'll probably call in because my picks are so good, Tommy,
Right.
that everybody really wants to hear me live make the picks.
Yeah. That's probably that's the plan. Could you have like Mrs. Thunder drive and then you could be on your phone? Like,
I probably could.
I don't know if the internet situation, once you get into Kentucky, probably doesn't.
Well, Friday, so the problem is we're probably leaving at like 1.
Got it.
So like everything's getting together, but by 1:20, if we're like out and like then I could jump on real quick. That might work out. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. We'll figure it out. This is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon. I want to remind everybody that Giannis and the Bucks are trying to make it 3 wins in a row tonight. They're taking on the Wizards. If you don't have anything going on tonight, it's a 7:00 game at the Fiserv. Jim Ozarski is going to join Sparky at 4:20 to talk about that. But we're going to steal some of Sparky's thunder. Can we do that? I don't know. It's all thunder because we're going to talk some Bucks with our best friend. We got our 2 best friends on today. I love it. Camille Davis now, Andy Herman at 1. Camille Davis joining us. Camille, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the things.
Yeah, for sure, guys. Happy holidays. Hope you guys had a great Christmas if you celebrated. Happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate. I hope that you enjoyed it and hope that everyone has an enjoyable New Year's Eve this evening.
Absolutely. All right, Camille, before we get started, I had a question. This is so outside the box. It's so bizarre. Does anybody call you Cammy?
Okay, so when I was in high school, there were some girls that called me Cammy, but generally it's just Camille.
Yeah. You seem like you're not such a Camille.
You're not a Cammy. You're a
Thank
Camille.
you. I didn't think I was a Cammy either, but they insisted, and I was just kind of like, I don't really care for it, but if you're going to do it, I guess.
Do you need me to exact some revenge upon them in the name of Camille Monet Davis?
I would say yes, but I honestly don't remember those people anymore. Like high school was so long ago at this point. I'm just kind of like, we move.
Yeah, we're getting old, Camille. I hear you. All right. Well, Camille Davis joining us. Before we get to Bucks and Giannis back and actually playing decent basketball, let's start with a little bit of Packers. Matt LaFleur spoke earlier today. Jordan Love still in concussion protocol. Malik Willis limited. Desmond Ridder in now. If you're Matt LaFleur or his or Brian Gutekunst who controls the roster, like are you playing anybody this Sunday? Are you resting everybody? Are there certain players who need a little bit just to get that momentum? We keep saying if Jordan Love's cleared, like, do you plan for a series or two just because he's missed a couple games, or do you just like let it roll into the playoffs?
I think I'll let it roll. I think last season against the Bears, the Packers tried like this half in, half out type of scenario where they're like, yeah, we're going to play. Then the game got kind of close. And then they were like, okay, we're not supposed to be playing no more, but kind of still doing it. And then it ended up in a loss anyways. And it was just very awkward and weird, the game plan heading into that one. I know the Packers have lost 3 games in a row. You do not want to go into the playoffs with a 4-game losing streak at your helm, but a lot of injuries for some key guys on this team. I think it might be in the best interest to just rest guys and be ready, get the prep going for whoever that playoff opponent is going to be for Wild Card Weekend and go from there. Because honestly, the ceiling for this team with the amount of injuries that they have been facing, I think it's a little bit lower than what we were thinking coming into the season. Like if they made it to the NFC Championship game, I would be pleasantly surprised. So this is one for me where it's like get healthy and be ready to throw your best punch come Wild Card Weekend.
And how hot is Matt LaFleur's seat to you, in your opinion, Camille? Does he have to win a playoff game? Does he have to win this week and lose the playoff game? Like how? Like it feels like the injuries could bail him out. Probably should bail him out, but it was hot in the middle of the year, and if you close out losing 5 in a row to close out this season, like there's going to be some rumors swirling.
Yeah, I think there's going to be discussions. I think for Matt LaFleur's job security, it's a thing where it's more so like the process over the result to a certain extent because of the injuries that they've been facing. So, like, if they go out there and they lose to Minnesota, but they've sat everybody and it's the Clayton Tune Bowl, and you have Bo Melton actually out there playing defense instead of being your nominal wide receiver and all the things that go along with that, you might have a little bit more grace. But depending on how they come out in that playoff game, if it's one of those games where it's like, hey, they just got beat because they got beat, not because they beat themselves, not because they weren't ready to play, not because they didn't execute properly. Sometimes you just lose because the other team was better. If it's one of those situations, I think there still might be conversations around Matt LaFleur's job, but ultimately I would think he comes back because even if they go out on this losing streak, what he's put together during his time in Green Bay, I think it shows like it's worth at least another year to see what he can do.
It is crazy. And Camille Davis is joining us on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. It is crazy how different we feel today versus 2 minutes into the second half against the Denver Broncos,
Man,
where the Packers score 1 minute into the half to go up 23-14, then hold the Broncos on a 3-and-out. So there's 12:55 left. Or I'm sorry, 13:55 left. You're just 2:05 in, or 12:55, whatever the math is. Stop mathing. But how different this season has gone since the Packers led by 9, opening the second half with a touchdown and a 3-and-out. That interception to Christian, that was intended to Christian Watson, that Surtain picked off, and Watson getting banged up on that play, and then Micah getting it like. It is crazy how different, less than a month, how different a season can feel.
I mean, even that Bears game in Chicago, like up until the last 2 minutes before that offside kick, where it's like, all right, they're going to steal one. What a gutsy win this is going to be for the Packers with Jordan Love going down in this game, Malik Willis coming in, playing some good basketball, good football here. And then Romeo Doubs doesn't catch the onside kick, and then you go to overtime, and it looks a lot like that Seattle NFC Championship game with how it came to a close. So even though, like, outside of Denver, even the next week they had an opportunity to still bounce back, and they tricked it off at the end. Like, there's no other way to say it. They tricked that game off at the end there. So even with that, and then the embarrassment that was this past Saturday with Derrick Henry and the Ravens running all over them, like, even still, the offense was putting up points. The defense just couldn't get enough stops there in that game against the Ravens. So, like, there have been things, as you mentioned, where it's like, dang, this would feel a lot different if that Denver game went differently, if that Chicago game went differently, to the point where even if they did get all ran over through pass, all kinds of ran from that Ravens team, you probably feel a little bit better heading into this last game of the season, regular season against the Vikings. But we don't have a time machine to go back and change that. So they are who they are now, and that's 3 straight losses heading into your Week 18 matchup against the Vikings.
Yeah, they are who they are. Camille Davis joining us, Locked On Bucks. How have your emotions changed about this Milwaukee Bucks team? And are they who they are now with Giannis back, or do you still think there's something there? Like, since the last time we talked, we kind of wanted the Bucks to move to Seattle, and now we're all back in because Giannis is here. It feels like at this
Not
point.
Move to Seattle. We ain't going that far. Come on now.
Well, if Giannis is gone, like, you want Kuzma being the face of the franchise right now? Like, that was where we were heading.
Okay, you guys were in some low points there. Like, y'all went low.
That's awesome.
But no, I mean, honestly, I'm still in the spot where I need the Bucks to continue to show me more. Like, winning 2 games in a row for the first time since October, progress, woo, all that stuff that goes with it. But, like, we need the first win streak of the year. Can we stack 3 games, 4 games, 5? Like, they have dug themselves into a hole. But I do believe with Giannis healthy, with Kevin Porter Jr. healthy, this is a team that has an opportunity to continue to move up the rankings in the Eastern Conference, because there's been so much conversation, right, about the Bucks record with Giannis and without Giannis. Before the game against the Hornets, when they finally won back-to-back games, the Bucks were 3-11 without Giannis this season. With that victory, they moved to 11-8. And you could look at that record and be like, well, that's still not great with Giannis being healthy, just being right above 500. But I think it's important to also mention the fact that Kevin Porter Jr. missed a lot of the beginning of the season. And with the way this team is constructed, injuries to anybody who was projected to be a starter is going to be a problem for the Bucks. If you look at Giannis's record with Kevin Porter Jr. in the 3 full games they've played, they're undefeated. I think it was the game against the Wizards where Kevin Porter Jr. left in the 4th quarter. That was a loss.
Yes.
So you can go 3-1 if you want to say like he played most of that game with Giannis. So they kind of lost that one together. But I think this team needs to be healthy, and then we can really judge what they are.
Yeah, and Camille Davis, Locked On Bucks podcast. Find it wherever you listen to your podcast. You mentioned they're 11-8 with Giannis. 11-8 puts them into 5th spot. Like if you look at what that winning percentage is, that puts them into the 5th seed in the East. They're right now 11th. They're only 4 games out of that 5th seed.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're only 4 games. And none of those Philly, Orlando, Miami, Cleveland, Chicago, Atlanta. None of those 6 teams scare me. I think the Bucks could pass potentially all 6 of those teams if they play the way they played the last 2 games. I know it's been against poor competition, but if you look at the schedule coming up, I mean, they got Washington, they got Charlotte again. They're going to get Denver twice without Joker, which like Denver's still good, but they'll take that. They got Sacramento coming up, who might be devolving into the worst team in the league right now, and might have traded everybody by then, maybe to the Bucks. We'll talk about that in a second. But how important is it to stack those wins, to get those wins, especially against teams that you should be beating?
So important. Like I made a joke initially before this 5-game road trip that they just finished up. Like it would be a very Bucks thing if they beat Minnesota and then lost the next 4 based on how they've played so far this season. But they went 3-2 on the 5-game road trip. Wish that Memphis game was a little bit better there, but the Bucks have not played Memphis well for a couple of years now, especially when they're in Memphis. So kind of a missed opportunity there. Same with the Brooklyn game before the road trip. Missed opportunities have been like a theme so far for the Bucks this season. And as the calendar gets ready to turn to 2026, that can be no more. Like they have been lucky because the rest of the East has been easting as we've seen it be in years past. But now is the time to really start taking that serious. As you mentioned, the next 3 games are very winnable. Tonight against Washington and then Charlotte at home, Sacramento in Sacramento. And honestly, that 4-game road trip that they have coming up starting in Sacramento, very winnable because you start with Sacramento, then you go to Golden State, who's been a 500 team really this season. And they tend to struggle against teams that can push the pace, young athletic teams, which the Bucks can play in that style, but we haven't seen it as much with their pace not being as high as it was to start the season. And then you have the Lakers who are going to be without Austin Reeves and have been going through their own struggles as well. And then you end that road trip in Denver without Jokic, as you mentioned. Not sure if Christian Braun would be back by that time, but they're also without Cam Johnson. Like they're just kind of beat up right now, losing a lot of starters. Aaron Gordon still out for them as well. So the Bucks might get lucky with their schedule and what's coming up and have an opportunity to really stack some wins before they play the Timberwolves at home, kind of in the middle of the month.
Well, Camille, it's New Year's Eve, so out with the old in 2025, bring in the new. How new will the Milwaukee Bucks look in 2026? How aggressive do you think they're going to be, whether they are going to be buyers or sellers during the trade deadline and trade season? I think that's February 5th, something around there is the deadline. How different will this Bucks team look? How aggressive should they be? Or what else are you thinking about how this roster will be constructed to finish out this 25-26 season?
Yeah,
and please God, no Zach LaVine. Please God, no Zach LaVine.
Yeah,
no
or
Zach
Trae
LaVine.
Young. If you say Trae Young, I'll kick you out right now.
No. Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr.
That's the
Michael
answer,
Porter
right?
Jr. All right, Camille, you go. We'll stop talking.
Here's the thing for me. With the uncertainty around what Giannis wants going forward, I would not be keen to throw out the very limited draft capital that we have for a quote unquote splash player just to try to make something happen. Like for the Bucks, I think honestly what they need is more so of like if they can get like the Champagny brother that's playing for Washington, like someone like that, which isn't gonna like it's not going to be something where you're like, dang, what a move for the Bucks. But it's like the kind of player that you need who's going to rebound, who's going to do the little things that your team needs. The Bucks really, really desperately need playable wing size. And if they can find a wing player around the deadline, definitely pull that trigger. But ultimately, again, I don't want to see a big splash move that's going to use a lot of draft capital without the assurance that Giannis is going to be here to see that through. Now, in the offseason, I think is going to be a lot of movement happening in the offseason for the Bucks, in addition to the fact they have more capital available to trade at that time. But I think at the deadline, you will see the Bucks as buyers rather than sellers, trying to use that Kuzma contract to get something else. And if they do use that Kuzma contract to bring someone back in, my hope is just that it's a guy that's over 6'6". Please let it be a guy that's not 6'4", 6'5". The Bucks have enough 6'4", 6'5" guard / wings that they throw out there. They need some size on the wing that can defend.
They need some rebounding.
Rebound.
Absolutely. Camille Davis joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. And as Tommy said, it's New Year's Eve. We looked a little ahead for the Packers. What do you got going on tonight, Camille? Anything fun? Any plans? What's on tap?
Yeah, like I feel like the older I get, the more I just enjoy being at home. So I'll be at home, probably have some friends come over, watch the Bucks game, play some spades, play some games, listen to music, have some adult treats along the way, and just bring it in with friends on a more low-key manner than I might have 10 years ago or so.
Yes. Love that. I'm in that same boat exactly. So, Camille, it's been amazing having you on the show throughout the year and since the show started. We will continue it in 26 and get your takes, the best in the business, breaking down everything that's going on with the Bucks. Thank you so much for everything. Happy New Year, and see you next year.
For sure. Happy New Year, guys. Thank you for having me on. Very much enjoyed it. Need to do another Bucks game soon. We gotta make sure we get back out here.
Yes.
Yeah,
we
I
do.
mean, they play the Wizards every week, so maybe we'll just go watch Chris again too.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Like this third time already, the Washington Wizards, right?
At least 3.
Yeah, I think it's
four. I think it's 4.
The fourth. I think this is the last time we play them this season.
It's ridiculous. They got them all in before the new year. But Happy New Year, Camille.
Happy New Year to you guys too.
Absolutely. Camille Davis, follow her. Locked on Bucks podcast. She and Justin Garcia do an awesome job with that after every Bucks game, and special airings when there's ever news and anything going on with that. We're going to do Thunder Watch next. Just quick look into Thunder Watch going into 26. See how we feel about like big picture Thunder Watch because it's, because it's a new year. So like who really deserves to be on it, who doesn't deserve to be on it, who has succeeded and worked their way off of it.
Doug.
Who has worked their way onto it. Doug?
Yeah, Gottlieb. He's on every Wednesday now. So I just another Doug callback. He was kind of like the MVP of Thunder Watch when we started it here at this station.
He was.
But then
he made a grown-up decision, and you got to give him his flowers.
He's a grown man.
Give him kudos. Yeah,
he is a grown man.
Yeah, he's over 40. I think he's like a year older than me. I don't know. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. Our thanks again to Camille Davis joining us on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. You're listening to the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon.
Dun, 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 dun. Eye of the Thunder.
I have the Thunder. That's right. I have the Tiger. I have the Thunder. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Andy Herman will join us at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. We'll break down everything Matt LaFleur said, everything going on. Not necessarily Packers Vikings, but really Packers bigger picture, Packers playoffs, Packers future. But we've got a couple minutes here. So we want to take our look at the final Thunder Watch of 2025. Who's on it? Who should be on it? Who deserves to be on it? Like, I feel like Jimmy Haslam's on it. And
Yes.
like, man, I just don't care about him enough at all anymore that like I'm taking him off because
Okay.
like he's just like I'm never not going to be pissed off about Jimmy Haslam and that his like douchebaggery has invaded Milwaukee. And so I'm just like, all right, so Jimmy Haslam's here. He's part owner of the Bucks. We have no control over that. We're the peon fans. That's how it works. Okay.
Yeah,
great.
he can come off. Then we have a couple other, one other Milwaukee Buck, two other Milwaukee Bucks on there. Let's bump them all out. Doc Rivers, Giannis, both of them still staying on.
Doc stays until he's gone.
Okay.
Like Doc should not be the head coach of this team. They should. There's got to be better solutions than Doc Rivers, and so Doc Rivers just stays.
All right, Doc Rivers, Giannis. I think
Giannis
we have to
is on,
keep
yeah.
him on, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
you think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You were
I
hesitant
think,
when I said put him on when we did, and now
yeah.
it's like you have to keep him on. So
I don't know. He came back. He's had 2 great games. Like I don't. Giannis is doing his thing.
yeah. But if he wants to leave, he's on Thunder Watch. Sorry. That's just how.
Does he want to leave? You think
Maybe.
he wants to leave?
Maybe. Oh, okay,
I don't
fine.
think he wants
The
to
wild
leave.
goose chase of the media that he's doing is worthy of Thunder Watch too, where he's like, I'm offended you even asked that question. It's like, have you read the news at all?
Right.
Like, come on. All right. What a great pick by you 3-4 weeks ago to put Shaka Smart on, as we were talking about.
I saw it happening before it happened.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because I saw it happening at the end of last year.
Yeah.
The way last year ended, Shaka Smart was on it, and then we took him off, but we had to throw him back. And like, listen, man, that program's in trouble. Marquette is in big trouble. They blew a game against Seton Hall last night. They should have won up by 7 with 3.5 minutes left. Like, they are in big trouble.
Doc Rivers, as we said, not the only coach with Shaka Smart because Luke Fickell is on that list. I don't think he's going anywhere.
No,
Chris McIntosh probably staying along.
Yep.
Rasheed Walker and Nate Hobbs are the last 2 members.
No, take them both off.
Okay.
Take them both off.
I can do that for you.
I mean, Hobbs is out for the year, so like there's nothing we can do until April at the earliest with him. Rasheed Walker's been fine. I don't know. Like
Bo Melton.
Man. Bo Melton and Josh Jacobs.
Well, I like Josh Jacobs.
Yeah,
like
Bo Melton and Josh Jacobs, I think. And I don't know if Jacobs is going to play this week. He's probably not. But I'm throwing Josh Jacobs on. Bo Melton's going to play like.
What about Rashawn Gary?
I don't even know.
Okay.
If Rashawn Gary's not cut during the offseason, then like Gary and Goody both go on. But like with the assumption that like this season ends the way it looks like it's going, Gary's gone, and that's it. I don't even want him on Thunder Watch because he should just be gone. He should be somewhere else. So, Andy Herman will join us at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. We'll go through all things Packers, favorite moments of 25. Looking forward to 26. Happy New Year, everybody. He's Tommy. I'm Thunder. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon.
It's time to talk about the Pack with Andy Herman of the Pack-A-Day podcast on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis. Presented by Verizon, the official 5G provider of the Green Bay Packers on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. Tommy works in the house. Mason's out today. He'll be back on Friday. I'll be off on Friday. Tomorrow, we're all off, recovering from New Year's Eve tonight. And to share his New Year's Eve plans with us, joining us on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law, one call. That's all. We go from one of our best friends, Camille Davis, to one of our other best friends, Andy Herman, in the house. What's up, Andy?
I got to follow Camille. That nobody should have to follow Camille. That's not fair. How am I supposed to do that?
We've done this to you at least once before now.
It's not
already,
fair.
too.
No,
we
you
just
have
tagged the show with our
You
best
have to set this up like a WWE card, Mitch. You got to start with the undercard first. So I should have been coming on first, and then you wait for the main event for Camille towards the end. There's a logic to this, Mitch.
Oh my God,
I just think
Gunther! What? Oh, sorry.
No,
that's all I got.
I just think about it like the three of us plus Camille, because we're the four best friends that anyone could have.
Ooh,
I mean, that's really
2026. We're gonna have Andy and Camille on at the same time. We're gonna do quad box.
Oh my gosh, I love quad box.
Yeah, quad box looks awesome for sure.
Drink when it's quad box. So Andy, I ended with Camille asking what she's up to tonight. I'm going to start with you. What are you up to tonight? And I assume there's pizza involved.
There's pizza involved. We're going to pick up some Luigi's tonight, so I'm excited for that. And then we're going to a friend's house, celebrating, having a few drinks, I'm sure, and then try not to be too hungover tomorrow when I've got to get a ton of work done. So that's the current plan.
Do the kids stay up till midnight yet?
Yeah.
Kids are going to be at Nana and Papa's house, so they have some friends that they're going to have with them there too. So don't know. I doubt midnight, but yeah, never know. We'll see.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's fun. The evolution of kids with New Year's is always, it's fun, but it's also like, it's kind of like what do you do? Do you include them because then they change the fun. They don't ruin the fun, but it becomes more like games and that sort of thing. And then like, are the kids in the basement and the adults are upstairs? So yeah, it all evolves. It all works itself out.
It's a different dynamic.
Yeah, I have I have the first question here. Actually, it's more of a statement. 2026.
Can you do a reset?
We are with Andy Herman, Pack-A-Day podcast. Check him out wherever you get it. 365 days a year, it's Packers. I mean, how could you not love what Andy Herman's putting out there? But I have a resolution.
Agreed.
In 2026, I'm done switching up. I'm done switching up on takes. I'm just gonna live and die by takes because I got burned so bad when I was the first person in Packers fandom to call out Rashawn Gary. And then all of a sudden, I was like, you know what? Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's good. Maybe he figured it out. And now everyone hates him, and I'm just jumping on a bandwagon of Rashawn Gary, whatever is going on right now. And Andy Herman, I have you to thank for it. I had to hear how good he was in run defense in like week 4 this year and how you should really change your thinking on it. But now, Andy, it feels like everyone has caught up to Tommy. Rashawn Gary, what the hell is going on?
Tommy was right. Andy was wrong. I'll end the new year with that, the way that you would most like it.
Wow.
Enjoy that as a New Year's gift. Never going to happen again. Never going to happen again. But no. So again, I do still think early in the year, the conversation was nuanced. I thought he was playing really good run defense, as you mentioned. He obviously was coming up with at least pressures and some sacks, even if those sacks were, kind of married up with some Micah Parsons pressures and things like that. He was still finding ways to make an impact. He was a team captain, obviously he still is. And like just the optics were even different. Even if it wasn't, again, what you were high end expecting, there was a player there who, again, I had and I think PFF and I, at least prior to this week, were both pretty much in lockstep as the 7th or 8th best defender on the team. Now, again, the nuance here is that you're not paying him to be the 7th or 8th best, 7th or 8th best player on defense, not the team, 7th or 8th best player on defense. You're not paying him for that. You're paying him to be one of the top players on defense and the top players on your team. And he clearly was not that all the way around. So I thought earlier when and whether this was your take or not, the idea that Rashawn Gary sucks, Rashawn Gary's awful, get him off my team. I thought that was, over the top. I thought that was aggressive. I thought we swung too far in the opposite direction of like going from, hey, he's not great, but now get him off the team. I thought that was like too far of a jump. However, in recent weeks, and we all know now, he's not had a sack since October. He's not had a tackle for loss since October. Against Chicago, he didn't register a stat, period, not a tackle, not an assisted tackle, not anything. Against Baltimore, he struggled in the run and failed to make an impact in the passing game. So yes, I understand. And just when you have the optics of, I think the play that really stood out is a play where, Rashawn's doing his little Rashawn jog, and Micah Parsons in Denver sprints past him from the other side of the field and then goes and gets a pressure on the quarterback. And Rashawn gave up on the play 4 seconds before that. Like, you see things like that. And when you have that C on your chest as a team captain, and you're supposed to be a leader, not only vocally, but by example, that's where you start getting into these optics. And to be fair, for Green Bay, in a game against Baltimore where Micah Parsons is out, you now have Kingsley Enagbare and LVN out snapping him as defensive end, which de facto, if everyone's healthy, puts Rashawn Gary as defensive end number 4. And breaking news, you don't pay 20 plus million to defensive end number 4 on your team. The writing seems to be on the wall for Green Bay and Rashawn Gary. And I think that was probably his last game playing at Lambeau Field wearing green and gold.
That was going to be my next question for you, Andy. Like, is there any way he's in a Packers uniform next year? Because it sure doesn't feel like it, based on the cap number, based on the production, and based on, it's not just you who do a daily podcast. It's not just us who do a daily radio show. But when the coaching staff isn't playing him, clearly they're seeing it also. It's not just us. It's not just you who break down the numbers. We had Dusty on yesterday. It's everybody sees it at this point.
Yeah. And what I would say is, I think the writing's probably on the wall, but we have seen Green Bay be loyal to a fault with guys like Kevin King, with guys like Joe Barry, with guys like, we can go on and on. We could make a list. Nick Perry. We could go on and on a mile long of guys that they have stayed a bit too loyal to, and it's kind of come back to bite them. And so, yeah, I think the very logical jump to conclusion here is that Rashawn Gary should not be on this roster in 2025 or 2026, and that they should go in a different direction, especially based on that cap hit. I can't look anyone in the eye with any certainty and say that Green Bay will in fact make that move, because they've shown in the past that they, especially guys who are team captain, they like them in the locker room and things like that, that they don't stick with those guys a year or two too long from time to time. So to me, it's a no-brainer. It's a pretty easy decision from here on out, but I will wait to see until we get that final, notice from Green Bay that they've either released or traded him, until I feel 100% confident in it.
Andy Herman, Pack a Day podcast, joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show. Andy Herman NFL, if you want to follow him on Twitter. All right, Andy, let's have one question, I guess, about the game that the Packers are supposed to be playing. Just wait till you see Rashawn Gary quit on Sunday. That's going to be all-timer against Max Brosmer. But anyway, regardless, skip off Rashawn Gary. This Vikings game, Andy, how much does this game matter for morale? And what are you expecting to happen in this ball game at the quarterback position right now? Because Desmond Ridder, I think that we're all in on Desmond Ridder now, because that's what we do in Green Bay. We just rally around backup quarterbacks whenever they do anything.
4 touchdowns on Sunday, Tommy.
What are your expectations for Sunday? And ultimately, how important is it in that locker room, do you think?
Yeah, so a couple things. First of all, wouldn't it be more on point if Rashawn Gary had like 4 sacks this weekend against Max Brosmer in a game that didn't even matter whatsoever? And just,
first kind of 10-sack year, right?
Yeah, first 10-sack season of his career. Like that, that would be, I think, even more fitting in this scenario. But so a couple things. First of all, I can't imagine a world where Desmond Ridder gets in this game unless there's a Clayton Tune injury. That's a really difficult thing to come in on a Wednesday, get ready for a Sunday game. I know he knows some of the nomenclature and the calls just from his time in Minnesota, LA. Matt LaFleur talked about that today. But I just don't think that that's going to be something where he has a legitimate role on this team other than just backing up in case of emergency, in case something would happen to Tune. I do expect Tune to play. I expect this is going to be very ugly. I don't think you could get, and we'll see if it's even Brosmer or JJ McCarthy, having a game in which JJ McCarthy, Max Brosmer, Clayton Tune, and Desmond Ridder are the 4 dressed quarterbacks potentially for the game is about as bad as it gets from an NFL standpoint, if we're being honest. Here's how I view this game. It doesn't matter at all. What I'm watching for in this game, what does Caetano Adapo look like? What does Colin Oliver look like? Can Baron Sorrell do anything? Does Jordan Morgan get some time at left tackle? Like those sort of storylines. Do we get to see Bo Melton at corner? What does Bo Melton look like as a corner? Tyron Hopper at linebacker. Like those are really fun and interesting and intriguing things to watch. The game doesn't matter. You cannot do anything in this game that helps you in the wild card week. So, okay, if Jordan somehow plays and the offense goes out and they, go 8 plays, 80 yards and score a touchdown, that doesn't do anything for you come the game against Philly or Chicago. It's cute to say like, oh, but they're going to get a little momentum. There's a better chance, in my opinion, going against Brian Flores and that defense, that they go blitz heavy. And we saw what they did against Detroit, that you give them 2 series and they go, they don't get anything as special accomplished. They get a field goal. And now, does that do anything for you? And you can lose things by playing players or being ultra aggressive in this game, because if Jordan Love or somebody would go down with an injury in this one, and if you want Jordan out there, are you trying to push Zach Tom back quicker so you've got his full complement of players? You put Christian Watson and Jaden Reed out there. Does Josh Jacobs now have to play because Jordan is playing? I just think you get into a very slippery slope. And I think the ultimate answer here, as they probably lose this game to Minnesota, is you are rest in peacing this entire end of the regular season and saying we are starting fresh entirely come the wild card round. It is a new season, new opponents. It's a new year. Nothing that happened in the regular season matters anymore. You are ripping that Band-Aid entirely and just putting that all to rest. And to me, you're just starting completely fresh. And I don't really care if Jordan Love is a little bit rusty or whatever. He's a veteran. He'll be fine. And you just you do everything. If I'm Green Bay, I'm not even, I am, probably running stuff this week in practice that it could either be Chicago or Philly. I'm already prepping wildcard week. That's your advantage here. That's your one advantage, is that you can start prepping for this upcoming playoff game immediately. Chicago kind of has to play to beat Detroit if they want to stick to that number 2. So I think that's Green Bay's one advantage in this situation, is they can rest and start preparing for likely Chicago.
And did you just rest in peace a verb? Rest in peace.
It doesn't deserve it.
I love that.
It's not a thing, but I'm gonna coin it anyway.
No, what I like about what you just said is you just gave us like a laundry list of guys to keep an eye on, like a laundry list of guys. We've been told that Jordan Morgan is not a guard, and now we're told he's not a right tackle. We are told he's a left tackle, and if he gets the opportunity to play there against the Vikings defense, which is going to want to hurt, they're going to come out firing like they did against Detroit last week. To them, that momentum at the end of the season does mean a little bit something. I'm real torn on the Jordan Love thing, and it's like I get that, like, you don't want to get him hurt, and you're right. If he comes in for one series, goes 8 for 80, and looks amazing, or 3 for 80, and has a classic Packers 20-25 drive, like, so what? Like, at the end of the day, you're right. So what? So I think that how do you approach a game like this where it's not exactly exhibition? Like, the Vikings are still playing football, and you don't want to get guys hurt. Even Hopper, even some of those defensive linemen you mentioned, like, you still don't want to get guys hurt, but you can't play 3 quarters. You can't play half. That's not how Christian Watson got hurt last year, but the mentality of the team last year in that Bears game certainly was not the right mentality. How do you protect yourself in this situation?
Yeah, so a couple things. The first thing that's important to remember, and Matt talked about this today as well, is you're going to have 7 inactive. You get 2 guys called up from the practice squad. It's a 48-man game day roster. You can only deactivate 7 players. Now, you can kind of put a couple other players on ice, but you look at the potential safety position. No Zane Anderson. So, yeah, Kitano Adapo is going to play a ton in this game. But your other safety, Jalen Simpson has the ability to play there. They've done some things this week, but, probably Javon Bullard and Evan Williams are going to have to be active in this game and could theoretically get in this game if there's an injury. And at linebacker, as of right now, there's only 4 active linebackers on the 53-man roster. So yes, you can go into this game expecting Hopper and McDuffie to play a ton, but if Hopper and McDuffie go down, or if you need a 4-3 formation, well, guess what? It's going to have to be Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper, who's that third linebacker, unless, again, they call somebody up, or maybe they do something unique with Colin Oliver. Maybe there's some ways to kind of cover for that, or Aaron Mosby. But for the most part, like, there's a lot of players that are still important to this team that are going to have to, at minimum, be active. and at minimum are a play away from having to probably finish the game and play it out. So as soon as you realize, you're probably sitting Love, Malik Willis, Josh Jacobs, I would assume there's a couple other players on defense and offense that Zach Tom, no matter what, probably sits in this game. Once you come up with that list of 7 players who are out no matter what, everyone else has to figure out a way to still mentally get active for this game. That even if the idea is like, hey, we don't plan on playing you, you have to be ready, because again, you're a play away from having to go in and potentially play that game. And once you have that group set, you have to get everyone in the same mindset of, hey, we're going and attacking this like a game. And again, yes, you can prepare for some stuff for Chicago and Philly, but you have to be able to prepare for that game, because if you play not to get hurt, what happens more often than not? You get hurt. So it's a football game. Go out there and put your best tape out there possible. Try to improve as a player. Try to see if you can still get a win, although I don't necessarily expect it. But you have to play that game like it's a regular game, like you would any other way. Otherwise, you probably are more susceptible to injury and or other bad things that could go on because you're not fully prepared to play in that game.
Andy Herman, Pack a Day podcast here, joining Mitch Nellis, Tommy Wirtz on the Mason Crosby Show. Andy, Jordan Love obviously banged up a couple weeks ago and didn't play against Baltimore, probably not going to play against Minnesota. Is there a legitimate argument for the rest versus rust, though, however, heading into the postseason? I think that there are 2 things that I feel can be true about this, and that is that I do believe that the Green Bay Packers have the best chance to win a postseason game with Jordan Love against the Chicago Bears. With that being said, I'd rather my heart get ripped out because they lose to Philadelphia. Like, I don't know how, give me some more confidence, because I do feel that Jordan Love and Micah Parsons, as I told Mitch at the beginning of this show, they are a part of the plan. As far as this window goes, it is Jordan Love. It is Micah Parsons. I didn't name anyone else. Ed Policy. That's the only other guy I can name right now. That's how far deep we're going into this. But why should Packers fans feel good about a playoff game as long as Jordan Love is the quarterback?
Yeah, the first thing I'll say about rest versus rust is I think there's no right answer and no wrong. Like either way, it's not a perfect scenario. You would love to be able to play guys. You don't want to get guys hurt. And in most scenarios, I think it's a debate. In this season where you've got 1,000,000,001 guys hurt and every injury luck situation seems to go against you, and you haven't had a bye week since early in the season, I think this one is as cut and dry of a decision to try to rest as many people as you possibly can in this game and try to get as healthy as you can and just start over in the postseason. As far as your second part of that, to me, the bad news is I think they can lose to anybody at this point in time. And there's a piece of me too that's like, hey, I'll take the loss to Philly. A loss to Chicago would be just the cherry on top of this unbelievably awful season and Sunday that we've had to, kind of experience with all the bad luck, injuries, et cetera, through the course of this season. So that would just be the capper on an awful season. What I will tell you is that all the other teams in the NFL right now are a level of bad as well, or at least not as good as maybe in other seasons where every team has weaknesses. Every team has reasons where they could lose games. The Rams, who I think is still maybe the best team in the NFL, just lost to the Falcons, lost to the Panthers recently, and could easily still get knocked out. They're probably going to go to Philly in the first round of the playoffs. I think the best team in the NFL might get knocked off potentially in that game, and they haven't played great as of late. Philly has its severe flaws. Chicago can't play defense. Their defense is absolutely atrocious at the moment. So while I think Green Bay could lose to any team, I legitimately think that there is not a matchup in a one-game scenario that if they go out and play anywhere near respectable football, that they can go out and win. And I think that both Chicago and Philly are winnable games for this team. So this offense is really good. If I'm game planning for the rest of the season, what I'm saying is, hey, we're going to put up a lot of points on offense. This is Jordan Love's time, and we're going to be very aggressive. We're going to throw the ball a ton. We know we can't run the ball very well. So it's Jordan Love and points on offense, and we're going to play an extremely aggressive brand of defense. We might give up 35 points, but we are going to get two turnovers on the way. And if we can get those 2 turnovers, give the offense some advantageous situations, I feel like we have the opportunity to win that game. That's probably how I'm playing it from here on out.
Andy Herman joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. Tommy, I'm going to switch gears unless you have any more Packers questions.
No, I think I'm all good. I'm all tapped out.
Okay. Who is your Super Bowl prediction? Yeah. Who's your Super Bowl prediction right now, Andy?
Yeah, the crazy thing is we did this exercise that myself and the Paul Farrington show guys this week of like predicting the Super Bowl. I would go Patriots and Rams right now, and I would give a slight edge to the Rams in that game. That being said, the matchups right now are Patriots Bills in the first round, and if you told me the Bills won that game, wouldn't be stunned for a second. Like the Bills might even end up being favorites in that game. Rams go to Philly. Yeah. If you tell me Philly's favored in that game and that the Rams lose that game, wouldn't be surprised at all. I think this is going to be one of the most fun, entertaining, and exciting postseasons in any sport in recent history, where every single one of these games from Wild Card Weekend through the Super Bowl is a complete and utter toss-up based on what we've seen so far this year and could go in any direction imaginable. So I feel not great about any of these teams. So I still think the Rams have the best roster and the best team in the NFL, and I think the Patriots are playing really good football. And I think the way that Drake May is playing, but even them, they've got Stephon Diggs gate this week. They've got Christian Barmore gate this week. Like they've got some stuff on their side of things that is not going awesome either. So I don't feel great about that, but I'm going to still say Rams over Patriots as of right now.
I just feel that it's a year that perceives parity, that the Eagles end up just winning the whole thing at this point. Yeah. And I know that they have.
Tommy thinks Eagles do.
They haven't looked unreal by any means, but it feels like eerily similar to a down Chiefs year where the Chiefs they're going to get overthrown this year, and then it's actually they're the team that's been in the postseason, that's had success in the postseason, so they are dominating every other team during this process right now. And the AFC, to your point too, I mean, I feel like no one trusts any of the quarterbacks who are at the top right now, and the Bills, like they're the kings of losing in the playoffs. So why would I choose them either?
Yeah. And I've got Niners Bills. I think the Bills, because it's so wide open. Like Josh Allen, of all these quarterbacks, he's like the one who's actually been there before. He might not be the one I trust the most, but he's been there. And I just think the Niners are peaking at the right time. Now, maybe they're 2 weeks early and they don't peak in 2 weeks. But I think this could be Josh Allen's year, kind of out of nowhere.
Can I tell you who I think the most important player in the playoffs is?
Say it's Jonathan Ford right now.
Nope,
do it.
It's not. CJ Stroud. If CJ Stroud plays well in the playoffs, the Texans are going to win the Super Bowl. That defense is insane. Wow. They're the best. They're the best. I think they have plenty of weapons on offense. Their offensive line's a little bit shaky, but if they somehow all of a sudden get really good CJ Stroud, I think the Texans win the Super Bowl.
Wow. All right. That would be
fun. By the way, I don't think they're going to get great CJ Stroud, but if all of a sudden he plays like we kind of saw during his rookie year and just goes and balls out, I think that's a Super Bowl team if he plays that way.
And I think it's easy to root for either the Texans or the Jags, right? They've never been there before, so why not, right? I mean, that'd be fun, but yeah, I don't know if I love it, but we'll see.
Are you confident that in 2 games that Giannis has showed us that the Bucks, who are in the 11th spot in the East, but only 4 games out of the 5th spot, like are they on the right track to righting the ship this year? Not to be like a championship contender, but at least to be a playoff team relevant in the NBA.
If Giannis stays healthy, they'll at minimum be a play-in team. What happens from there? And if they can, get through the play-in and go to the playoffs, it's a really bad East. And, again, if you told me that this team got hot at the right time shooting threes and Miles Turner started playing a little bit better, they maybe add that one piece that they're looking to add, and Giannis just goes crazy in the postseason and they pick up a postseason win or two, meaning like a series win or two, I wouldn't be stunned by that. But I just, this team is very clearly not good enough. I'm still very much on the trade Giannis while you still have the most trade equity possible for him before he has another injury or has something. You're like one Giannis injury away from like all of a sudden him being the most tradable player maybe in the NBA with getting one of the biggest returns to like all of a sudden it's like Joel Embiid where you can't even trade that guy if you wanted to.
It's literally Aaron Rodgers at the end all over again with Giannis, it feels like right now. I mean, it's just there are groups of people who want to be all in on whatever Aaron says goes. And there are groups of people who are like, oh my gosh, I'm so annoyed with Aaron right now. Get him off the team. And it feels the exact same way with Giannis right now at the end of it.
And for me, I love Giannis. I will always be a
it's not even
Giannis
at the
guy.
end.
Yes. I love the windmill dunk. I kind of love heel turn Giannis. Give me more heel turn Giannis. I am all in on sort of dark side Giannis. Give me dark Giannis. I'm all in on all of this. And I think it's a cool way to kind of go out. I do think that he could. I think some of the stuff right now where it's like, why are you asking me if you have the ability to silence all of it and just saying, I'm finishing the season with the Bucks, and all of it goes away. Just saying, I'm not going anywhere this year. I'm finishing the season with the Bucks, and all of it goes completely away for the rest of this time. But again, I don't think this is even a Giannis thing. To me, if I'm the Bucks, and I get that this is a very difficult situation because Giannis is your cash cow, and as long as you have him, you sell tickets. You're a mid-market team. I get all of that. But I think if you're looking at it from when can you open up your next championship window and have any sort of, again, championship sort of equity, the sooner that you can get the most possible stuff in return for Giannis and start rebuilding this thing, I think is probably logically the better way to go.
I have one question for Mitch Nellis here.
Okay. And then I have one for Andy.
If theoretically me and you were in Green Bay in a week, would you want to hang out with Andy Herman?
1,000.
Okay, just throwing it out there. That's rumors.
Yep. Andy
There's
Herman,
rumors.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Just saying.
Did MJF deserve the belt?
I have not been paying attention as of late to all of it. So I've been way off in just in all of wrestling because I've been just way too busy. I think at any point in time though, just without being educated on the topic, you can always put the belt on MJF. And I think that's never necessarily a bad decision.
That's fair. All right. I'll take it. You're my AEW guy, so I had to go AEW.
I know it's been a hot second just because I've been way too busy. So I got to figure out a way to get back on the AEW sauce.
What is it, like end of a Packers season and like lots is going on? Like,
I know.
Unbelievable.
Excuses.
He is Andy Herman. Follow him. Pack a Day podcast every day, putting content out there on YouTube and wherever you listen to your podcast. Follow him at Andy Herman NFL. Andy, happy New Year, my friend.
Appreciate it. See you guys soon. Talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, happy New Year, Andy.
Absolutely. Yep. He is Andy Herman, joined us on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. We're going to look ahead a little bit into our crystal balls, into 2026, into Bryce Terang's MVP campaign next season. Let's go. If we're going to say it, let's go. Let's get in.
Yeah, lean into it.
Let's get into it. Yep. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Want to remind everybody that you can find us anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you catch your pods. Smash that follow button. Just search the Mason Crosby Show. You can get every minute of the show your way and on your time. And, of course, today at 4:20, Jim Owczarski, or however you spell it, Jim Owczarski from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, our Bucks beat reporter, is going to join Sparky on Wisconsin Sports Radio Network as Sparky takes you into the new year. Tommy, you 5 to 6 today?
Yeah, I'll be on 5 to 6 today. And
so
then
you'll really take us into the new year.
Yeah, and then but the next 3 or 4 days I will not be. So we'll have have all satellite programming tomorrow. Then I'm filling in on the morning show the next 3 days. So whenever I do that, I like to get
Friday,
out.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yep.
Or who are you going to be with?
I'm going to be with Josh on Friday. I'm going to be with Trevor on Monday and Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Both of those guys are like New Year, same me, just never working. That's that's how it is.
414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Yeah, I had to throw one in there before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Your best thing that happened in Wisconsin sports in 25, what's your one wish for 2026? I also threw it up on the Mitch Nellis Facebook page, so if you want to chime in there, I've got a bunch of comments that I want to get to. 920, I don't know if you heard this or not, Tommy. We might have to do a little research. JB in the 920 says, in the 920, says, can somebody play that clip from Josh this morning for Mason? Those ESPN clowns are so big mad they couldn't get Giannis traded out. I wonder I don't know what Josh said. We might have to do a little research on that and see what Giannis said there. A different 920 says, kudos to the UW women's volleyball team. I like that. And they had a great run. They ran into a buzzsaw, as we saw. They lost to Kentucky, and then Kentucky got absolutely destroyed by Texas A&M, and Texas A&M had also done that to whoever they played in the Final Four. So, I don't think it was going to go well for the Badgers if they had made the finals anyway. Nobody was beating Texas A&M.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great year for us here at the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network and the Mason Crosby Show specifically. We get to go on way too many adventures with Mason than we should be allowed to, right? He's in the Wisconsin Sports Hall of Fame now, Colorado Athletics Hall of Fame now. I guess he's aiming for the right leg dominant Hall of Fame next. I don't know what comes after this.
Kind of bummed he didn't bring us to Boulder.
Yeah, I think that we couldn't have, even if we want. We would have probably moved something around, I guess, if we had to. Yeah, but he was that was in the middle of his 5 cities in 5 days type thing. That was. So right. Yep. How fun would a stay in Boulder have been for 18 hours?
I think it would have been fun.
Maybe it would have.
You know what? In Boulder, they have some stores that make it more fun than. Let's see. On Facebook, I just want to go through this list real quick. Anthony, our resident Lions fan, says the best was that the Brewers didn't make it to the World Series. The worst was that the Bucks did not trade Giannis. He's like, he hates everything about Wisconsin sports, and he lives here, so that's great for him.
Well, it was there's other sad. We lost Bob Uecker at the beginning of the year. Can't forget that. Sure. That was a crazy day when we were live.
That was 25.
It was January. It was so early. Okay. It was, remember it was the first year without Bob this year. And then it was January when we broke the news.
I just didn't know if it was December or January or my brain doesn't work.
So. Yeah. It was a while ago. It's almost a year now, which is crazy to think out loud, but a massive moment in Wisconsin sports history, let alone this year alone. Sure. So that was another big one that came to mind. And the Brewers had a magical run because of it.
Absolutely. Matt writes in, he's looking forward to Badger football to return to prominence. It's embarrassing how far the program has fallen. Matt, don't hold your breath. Right? You holding your breath on that one, Tommy? 2026, the year of the Badger?
Dude, could you have cared any less when you saw Pete Nakos or whoever it is, Pete Thamel report of Billy Edwards Jr. is entering the transfer portal.
Running back coach going to Michigan State.
Cool.
I don't care. Yeah. You know what? The running back sucked. So great job coaching.
That's my philosophy. Always is.
I know. I'm starting to live by your philosophy, Tommy.
The team sucks. Who cares who leaves? The team sucks. Mason Posa staying. That's the who cares after that? Who
Yep.
cares?
Steven's looking forward to Matt LaFleur being tired. He is a horrible coach. That's Steven's take. I don't know if he's a horrible coach. He might get fired.
I think he's the wrong fit in Green Bay. I think that's what everyone needs to more realize. I don't want to necessarily just continue to say like things about this, but I'm telling you, if they lose 5 games in a row to close out the season, gotta go.
Yeah, you don't survive that.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Jeff says the best thing about the year was the Brewers winning the division and beating the Cubs in the playoffs, hoping they can do even better in 26 and win the World Series.
So if we're going to rank these 1 and 2, which one was more impactful for you or cooler for you? It's the Parsons trade. It's beating the Cubs in Game 5. Those are the top 2 moments, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Was there anything like in the winter or there was nothing Bucks last year. There was nothing in the spring. Yeah, I think that's got to be, those are the 2 biggest. Wow. When you go back to the negative, the trading of Chris Middleton was a big sad.
The Miz coming up was also really awesome.
It was awesome.
That was crazy when that happened.
But not at right. But for a pure moment, that winning of Game 5 and the second that Micah Parsons got traded, as it turned out, I would say winning Game 5 for me.
Okay.
Was bigger because Micah got hurt, and this season is going to be the season of unfulfilled dreams. Next year, if the Packers win the Super Bowl and Micah Parsons has 16 sacks and the defense is dominant and they're awesome, I might look back and say, no, it was Micah Parsons, especially if the Brewers aren't as good as we want them to be next year or this upcoming year. I would say right now, I mean, listen, if the Cubs had come in Game 5 and won 3 games in a row and won Game 5 in Milwaukee, that would have been awful.
That would have been awful.
Right?
That would have been terrible.
And so I think that would have been worse than how we'll feel if the Packers lose to the Bears. Like, Bears fans will be more unbearable. But I think as Packers fans, we're going to kind of be like, who cares?
Yeah,
like, the season sucked anyway. Like, this season ended in Denver. Like Bears fans, you can talk whatever mess you want. Season ended in Denver. LaFleur's gone. Goody's in trouble. Like, they got to fix this.
Another hindsight, maybe not quite as high of a moment, but I could think of the draft, right? I mean, the NFL draft was awesome. Green Bay put on a great show. You were up there.
The celebration of the draft.
The Matthew Golden pop in the beginning was unreal. Like, that moment to be bottled up and kept forever would be awesome, but now Matthew Golden doesn't do anything and they don't care if he's on the team. But again, like, that was a massive moment in 2025 that I think was seriously awesome.
Frank chimes in with Tosa West's boys basketball team winning their first ever D2 state championship. Andy says a vote for Badger women's hockey winning the championship.
They do every year. They do every year now.
Yeah.
So.
His wish again is Badger football getting their act together. Josh Albrecht chimes in.
That one or the other one?
No, our Josh Albrecht.
Okay. There's 2 of them. You got to make sure.
Yeah, exactly right. He says John Cena. And Ben says his wish list, his one wish for 2026, trade a few of the prospects, whoever you need, go get Scooball and try to win it all.
Oh, they don't need another starter though. Come on. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. The postseason was bad.
All right, you're gonna hate this. Ready? Tony, who's the Milwaukee everything hater, the Detroit fan, says you should trade Made and Pena for Scooball.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not touching Made.
Right?
I'll Pena. I love.
Would you trade one of them?
I would trade Pena, but I don't want to trade Pena. I'm not looking to trade Pena, but if you make a splash, go ahead, move Pena. But other than that, I would love to see those guys be the foundation of this team. Unfortunately, Mitch, they're just getting a little crowded at middle infield right now with all of these guys coming up being shortstops, and Bryce Terang better be a part of the long-term plan with the Brewers too.
I agree with that, but I'm going to tell you something. My very good friend Homer has stated for a long, long time. You can never have too many Escalades in the garage.
Yeah.
At some point, somebody's going to get hurt. At some point, somebody's going to come up to major league level and realize they can't play that position. Remember, Ryan Braun was a shortstop.
Yeah.
Then he was a third baseman.
Third base, yeah.
Yeah, and then he played left field because he just couldn't do that anymore either. Sometimes some of these guys can even do it through AA, even through AAA, but when you get to the major league level, you're not, you figure out a position for them, but they're not what you thought they were going to be.
Pat Murphy, manager of the year again, too. He's always awesome.
That's a great one.
He was always great. Matt Arnold was executive of the year, the team of the year, organization of the year, I believe, with Baseball America. Maybe it was the AP as well for the Brewers. I mean, a fantastic 2025 for Milwaukee and the Brewers for sure. I mean, I think there was a lot more positive than negative in Wisconsin sports in 2025.
414-677-1250, your wish for 2026. And what are you doing tonight? We will end things with a bang. We're going to shoot off some fireworks. You got the fireworks in the studio, right?
Yeah, I have a flyover, but we got to open the roof too.
All right. We challenge accepted. Those studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, of course, where Tommy is. My name's Mitch Nelson, a.k.a. Thunder. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. What are you doing tonight? Coming up next. This is the final segment of the 2025 edition of the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. My name's Mitch Nellis. Tommy Wirtz sporting his Cudahy Packers winter knit cap.
Yeah.
The right name of the team, the wrong colors for this week.
Correct.
But also sporting his I don't talk to kickers sweatshirt, which just looks beautiful.
It's awesome. I know.
That's like,
I wanted to
best.
get the gray one when it was in stock, but then it wasn't in stock when I went to go buy it. And I got the white one instead, which scares me, always having white clothing. But now I'm back-to-back days just wearing white clothing on the Mason Crosby Show.
Yeah. I mean, you do you, bro.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250, your 2026 wish list, and what are you doing tonight? And friend of show Mike Wickett writes into the show. Mike says his best thing was the Brewers streak, the win streak. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Webbs
was awesome. Webbs was cool.
In 2026, he hopes people stop saying dumb bleep like fire Matt LaFleur or Malik Willis is better than Jordan Love.
I agree with half of his sentence.
Yeah, we agree with half of it. We don't agree with fire Matt LaFleur. We just think it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Based on you lose 5 in a row to end the season, like that is part of the conversation, and it's okay to talk about. He says feels like I'm going to be disappointed real early in the year. Yep, you might be. That is true. Nick writes into the show. He is grilling steaks in Florida with my family and watching football.
Yeah.
Lori says steaks and crab legs and then chaperoning teenagers for their New Year's Eve gathering. And Johan, prime rib with my kids and granddaughters. Love all of that. A lot of meat going on tonight.
Steak.
Tommy, a lot of steak, prime rib. Like, I feel like we traditionally have done like tons of apps, like and like the Mrs. Thunder and her sister make these really cool things. But I kind of feel like I need to go buy a steak and put it on the grill tonight.
I had a steak yesterday, man. I had a steak yesterday, and it was delicious. I last time I went out, I got 2 of them, just like a couple of
we talked about that.
Yeah,
never buy one, always buy a second one.
Yeah, and I needed something to eat yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, I got that steak. Probably need to cook it pretty soon here, and it was delicious. I'm getting pretty good. I'm getting pretty nasty at pan-searing a steak. I would like to think so.
I like the pan-searing. I've been pan-searing a lot of fish recently. I love pan-searing fish. Steak, I kind of still want to put it on the grill, though.
Understandable. I have a grill. It's just been cold, so I'm not really trying to go out there and grill in the cold.
Scotty Tiffany writes in 414-677-1250. That is our Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Sterling Sharp finally in the Hall of Fame in 2025.
Good one.
That's another good moment of the year. Viet Tran writes in on YouTube. Happy New Year, gentlemen. Go Pack, go. And Mason said this yesterday, Tommy. At the end of the day, we still want the Packers to win.
Absolutely.
I want the Packers to win this Sunday. I don't really care that much because it doesn't mean anything. But like, whether they play the Bears or the Eagles, I'd like them to win that game. I'd like them to then go into the number 1 seed, whether it ends up being Seattle or San Francisco. And I'd like them to win that. And can they beat all those teams? They can. Like they have the talent to go in and compete with those teams. Like I don't think any of those games are don't even show up. Like all those games are you get off on the right foot, you get a turnover, whatever happens, things can go your way. But based on the past few weeks, I think that's where we're kind of like it just doesn't feel great. And that's okay. It just doesn't feel great.
I don't feel great. I don't feel great about it. No, I'm not going to change. I don't think either.
Yeah. Our buddy Ryan Horvat says he's listening to Goose tonight. I don't know what that is.
That's a band. Goose is a band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know if that was like the play-by-play of the Miami Ohio State game.
No, that's a band.
That was okay. I'm sure we a lot of people. I don't know about a lot of people, but I'm sure a bunch of people are going to the Bucks game tonight. Bucks are in Milwaukee tonight. Wherever you are around the state of Wisconsin, we want to wish you a happy New Year. Thanks for being with us on this adventure as 2025 runs into an end, but we're still here. Tomorrow we're off, but we're back on Friday. Next week is playoff week. So we'll be, locked in next week for sure. Right, Tommy?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Well, he is Tommy Wirtz. My name is Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Happy New Year, everybody.
I was